Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be another round of my TBR game, Scrabble Picks My TBR for January 2023. So this is very exciting, my first TBR game for 2023. I will say I am filming this a bit early because after Christmas I am going on a bit of a holiday getaway and I want to have some videos pre-filmed before I go. And to be completely honest with you, I really didn't know what I wanted to put on this TBR because a lot of times I know what I'm in the mood to read, and so when I'm deciding what prompts to spell or what books to pick, I'm thinking about what I'm in the mood for. But I don't know what I'm in the mood for at the moment, so we're just gonna see how it goes. I did not film a Scrabble TBR for December because I was participating in the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon and I thought that was keeping me busy enough. But I will tell you how I did on my November TBR. I read all of the books except one. I did not finish reading Murder of a Medici Princess. At the time of filming, I am still reading that one, but it's a nonfiction book and so it's taking me a little longer to get through. Still though, I had 151 points at the end of that TBR, so we are going to start fresh for the new year with a new board and reset my rack. I forgot to mention, if you've never seen this TBR game before, I will link the rules in the card up above. It's a pretty simple game. Basically, every month I spell 5 words in a game of Scrabble, and then I use those 5 words to determine what I will read that month. I must successfully complete the prompt, collect the points for that word, and once I reach 150 points, I get to start over with a new board. So let's just dive into the prompts for January. Hopefully I will be happy with my TBR because like I said, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, so hopefully I will like the books that I pick and end up reading all of them. All right, everyone, new year, new month, new board. Let's start off by picking 7 letters. A. I feel like I need to move this a little bit. Okay, there we go. W. M. E. T. A. And L. I can't even fit it all on the rack. There we go. Well, to be completely honest, I pulled these out in the order of a word. So I think I'm just gonna go with this. Like, why not? So I don't know if that's ever happened before where I just pulled them out and already had a word just based on the random order that I drew the letters. But so metal, and my thought here was I could pick a book that has a metallic color on the cover, so like gold, silver, bronze, something like that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to get my computer so I can keep track of these points. So my first prompt is metal. For this, I'm going to pick a book with metallic colors on the cover, and I decided that I was going to choose 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. I really should have read this book already. I put it on a 5-star predictions list probably close to 2 years ago now, and I still haven't read it, so I think it's about damn time. I'm picking this for this prompt because it does have this gold bronzy color on the cover, so I think that counts. This is a Greek myth retelling about the Trojan War, and it retells the story from the perspective of the women involved in the myth. I really enjoy reading mythology retellings, so I'm hoping that I will love this book and then I can read Natalie Haynes's other works. I really hope that I will love this. U B O S R. Okay. I think this one could be really fun and it could also be really bad. So since everyone just did their end of the year content, do you see where I'm going with this? I am going to read a book from someone else's worst books of 2022 video. I think this could be fun. So we have a double letter on the W, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points for worst. Next, read a book from someone else's worst books of 2022 video. So I typed in worst books of 2022 and started clicking on the first videos to pop up in the search, and I was surprised to see that Mara from Books Like Whoa said that Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman was one of her worst books of 2022. This could not work out more perfectly because it has been 12 months since I read Scythe, the first book in this series, and I mean, I'm repeating myself here, but it's about damn time I read this book, so far so good with this TBR. Scythe is a young adult series set in a futuristic world where mankind has successfully eradicated death. However, in order to keep the population under control, they train these people as scythes, and scythes are responsible for randomly killing a portion of the population every year. I read the first book in January 2022 for a book club, and even though I don't really like young adult fiction anymore, I really loved the first book in this series. I thought it was so entertaining, and also I think it did have a lot of depth, and you don't always get that level of complexity and complex themes from young adult fiction. I did want to continue the series, and I just never ended up doing that for whatever reason. So since it's been 12 months since I read the first book, I think now is the perfect time to read Thunderhead before I forget the plot entirely. Hopefully this book will work for me, even though it didn't work for Mara. S. I'm like not comfortable today. Oh God, okay. A. L. E. So I am going to keep my options open and spell male and read a book by a male author. This is slightly challenging because typically I read books by female authors more frequently than I read books by male authors, but you know, with this prompt, I'm not committing myself to a specific genre or anything like that, so I can have the freedom to decide later what I want to read. So this is triple letter score on the L, so that's 6, 7, 8? 8, I believe. Alright, the next prompt is to read a book by a male author, and I am going to pick another book from my 23 books I want to read in 2023 video. I am just ticking off books from this list left and right. Honestly, go me. But I decided for this prompt, I'm going to read The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I'm sure you know Sherlock Holmes, everybody's favorite, intelligent yet emotionally detached, Victorian private detective extraordinaire. In 2022, I read the first two novellas, A Study in Scarlet and The Sign of Four, and then I read the short story collection, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. The latter I really thoroughly enjoyed, and that kind of surprised me because usually I don't like mystery short stories that much, but I feel like Sherlock Holmes just works so well in a short story format because so far I've never read a Sherlock Holmes story and been shocked by the reveal of who was behind the crime, but I think it works really well in a short story format where the story is not dragged out really long, and yet the identity of the killer is not going to be super surprising, but the way that the killer pulled off the crime is going to be very clever. I don't know if I explained that well at all. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. But since I loved the previous short story collection so much, I am very excited to read the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. I think this will be a very fun way to start off my 2023 reading. I'm excited for this one too. This TBR is going well so far, I think. D. T. I. I'm going to spell dual. I'm knocking stuff over again. And read a book with either dual perspectives or dual timelines. I think it should be pretty easy to find some kind of mystery thriller that fulfills this prompt. And this, again, we have a triple letter score on the U, so that would be 5, 6, 7. All right, for the dual prompt, I have decided on Shiver by Ali Reynolds. This is a mystery thriller, and people in the Goodreads reviews refer to it as having dual timelines, so I think this will work for this prompt. I think this will be a very good mystery thriller for the winter time. This book follows a group of 5 friends who, after not seeing each other for years, gather together in the French Alps. I believe they are all professional skiers. I could be wrong about that. The friends have sort of fallen out of touch after the disappearance of their friend Saskia 5 years earlier. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I'm probably butchering it. But after her disappearance, they drifted apart and they've now come back together for this trip. But once they all gather together at the ski lodge, they realize they were all actually lured here for nefarious purposes. This sounds like a wintry, isolated mystery, sort of like And Then There Were None or One by One by Ruth Ware. Hopefully I will like this book more than One by One though, because that book just was not a hit for me, but I do love a mystery thriller with an isolated atmosphere and the sort of trope of a mysterious person who's lured everyone there to get revenge on them. I love that trope, and I think this is going to be a great January read. Hopefully I will like it. Okay. Z. Great. And got one from the very bottom here. R. Too many to fit on this tray today. I keep knocking everything over. This is hard because the I is the only vowel I have on my tray. So And I'm just gonna go with this. It's not worth a lot of points, but art. So this is double letter, so it's only 4 points, but I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling to think of something right now. But I thought maybe for this prompt I could read a book that has an artist in it. Maybe a book where the cover is a painting or a work of art or something like that. You know, so for instance, something like The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. That would be a great thing to select for this had I not read that book already. I don't know. That's all I got. Finally, the prompt art. At first, I was not sure what I was going to choose for this, but then I thought of the perfect book. So for this prompt, I'm going to read Medusa by Jessie Burton. And you're probably saying, Jackie, what does that have to do with art? This book is illustrated, so I think it will be perfect for this prompt. I received this as a Christmas gift from Tori. Thank you so much, Tori. I am so excited to give this one a try. I will link her channel down below. Go subscribe to her. She is just the absolute sweetest. So this is another feminist Greek myth retelling following Medusa, obviously, one of the most famous villainized females from Greek mythology. It describes this book in the dust jacket as a deeply moving story about consent, the abuse of power, beauty and ugliness, and being comfortable in your own skin. Doesn't that just sound so good? I hope that I will love this one too. I just really need another great Greek myth retelling in my life. It's been so long since I found one that I really loved. I am so happy I fit this on the TBR because since Tori gave it to me, I wanted to read it very, very soon, and this really just worked out well, I think. I'm happy with the books that I picked this month. Alright guys, I was a little nervous about this TBR, not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna pick, I didn't know what I was in the mood for, but I think I got some really great books on this TBR. Hopefully in a couple weeks, once January starts, I will be in the mood to read all of them and I will successfully complete the TBR, but in this moment in time, I'm feeling optimistic. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. If you are still watching but you don't know what to comment, why don't you leave a Christmas tree emoji down below? Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!